So, here's the PID. She is right there. Holding at 1850, clicking on, clicking off. You can see the little needle valve next to the solenoid on the right there. The solenoid is just sitting right on top of the PID box. And then that little loop system right there. On the right hand side of the loop is the bypass valve. That's just a needle valve that I open up enough to basically give enough gas pressure to ensure that the forge stays lit always. And there's a little bar of metal in there that I just threw in there to see what would happen with the temperatures. Because I've read online some opinions that people say PIDs don't work because if you put the bar of steel in there, it throws off the PID's readings because it tries to anticipate the temperatures fluctuations inside of here. And if you put the metal in there, it can't anticipate it anymore. And so they're basically trying to talk people out of using them and trying to talk them into purchasing, you know, $4,000 heat treating ovens, which I think is absolutely insane. You could adjust the proportional, integral, and derivatives to adjust all of the oscillations and shit if you really care about learning about that shit. I personally don't give a fuck, so whatever. You know, plus or minus 50 degrees is totally fine for me. But anyways, this is off right now. It's just shooting flames out, and it's basically holding temperature right where I need it to. It'll drop a little bit eventually, but it basically holds the temp for about 15-20 seconds, then it starts dropping, and then once it senses that, it starts kicking back up, and it's going to drop to maybe 1840, 1838, maybe. But the more times this runs, the longer it runs, the better it gets at anticipating where it needs to be. And also, having steel in here is basically just having extra material to insulate and add heat into the equation. And that means that, you know, the temperature inside here is more stable. And here's a really good shot of that thermocouple. It just looks like it's melted. To be fair, that's refractory cement on there. It's not really melted. The thermocouple that I got was super cheap, and it came with like a bunch of like multiple pieces of ceramic on there. So it's a little bit floppy, and then the refractory cement makes it look like it's totally melted. Yeah, it's doing just fine. And then that little guy right there, that's just a piece of junk steel, just scrap. But why the heck not anneal it while I'm in here, right? What do I got to lose? So anyways, that's experiment number 1, or I guess number 2 complete for the night. And it's now midnight, so time to call her quits for the night, I guess. And I'll call this a success.